Mail delivery. It may soon become a thing of the past. Lawmakers in Washington are considering a bill that would centralize mail delivery. That means you'd have to pick up your mail either from a mailbox at the curb or a cluster of mailboxes within your neighborhood. Here are the facts first. The House Oversight Committee is considering the bill, which would phase out door-to-door delivery in an effort to save the cash-strapped Postal Service about $4.5 billion a year. It would affect about 37 million residences and businesses. Those with disabilities would be able to apply for exemptions. Jennifer Lukey has been following this story for us today. She joins us live now from NISKAYUNA. And Jen, this phasing out of the door-to-door delivery has really, I think, already begun, hasn't it, even without this legislation?
Yeah, in a way, Liz, it has. With all new development since 1980, a developer has to decide between a cluster box like the one you see here or putting in a curbside mailbox. That's been in place since 1980. Recently, this past April, the Postal Service said it would now decide, based on the situation, whether to offer a box like this or a box at the street. If lawmakers get their way, a group of them in the House are pushing to extend that even further, to phase out door-to-door delivery for everyone over the next 10 years. I talked to a lot of people here locally today, and not many of them seemed on board with the plan. When it comes to the idea of curbside or cluster mailboxes, Janet is pretty blunt about her feelings.
It would be horrible. I mean, we love our mailbox. I love the mail slot, that the mail goes right into the house, especially in the winter, you know, when it's really cold out and horrible and snowy. And it would change the whole feel of this neighborhood.
Others in the area echo that sentiment.
I won't like it because I'll have to go out of my way if I'm at work, and particularly during the winter, you know, going to get your mail in the dark, wherever that is. It could be icy or snowy conditions.
But Richard isn't just concerned about himself.
I also think about people in the neighborhood who are older or who might have some kind of disability.
Taking into account salaries and cost of transport, the Inspector General says on average it costs $353 per stop for door-to-door delivery every year, compared to $220 for curbside and $160 for cluster boxes. KAYAST owns a condo locally and says the boxes aren't all that bad.
No, it is not a problem because, you know, when you bought it, you know that it is there.
And for the Postal Service, every cost-saving measure has to at least be examined.
They have to save money because nowadays internet is, nobody is writing letter. Even I'm paying my bills, all my bill, through my computer.
I'm generally opposed to privatizing because then the profit motive comes into play, and I don't think that the mail should be dependent on someone making a profit. But obviously the post office can't keep running in the red.
Something needs to be done, Richard says, but not what's currently on the table.
Mailboxes at the curb would be any other neighborhood in suburban America, and that's not why we moved here.
Now, a lot of the folks that I spoke with today say they would have rather given up that Saturday delivery than have to make this change. And really, that's what it's going to come down to, is some sort of compromise. The Postal Service just can't keep doing what it's doing because every year it gets a little bit more in the red. We spoke with our local federal lawmakers today. We'll have that part of the story coming up at 6:30, just what it is they're proposing and how they feel about this plan, Liz.
Well, we heard that these people are upset with the inconvenience, but I wonder if they were upset with any kind of cost here. Who would pay to put a mailbox up, a communal mailbox, or maybe for these cluster boxes?
Well, Liz, it's important to remember that this is just a bill at this point. Right now, actually, as we speak, it's being discussed in a subcommittee. It would then need to go to the House floor and then need to go to the Senate. So there's still a lot of time here. A lot of those details haven't been worked out. Typically, it is the responsibility of the homeowner to put a mailbox at the curb, but the curb clusters like this one, it's still unknown sort of who would pay for that. A lot of those details are still being developed.
All right. As I said earlier today, write those letters to your congresspeople quickly before you have to walk to the curb to send them, I guess. Thank you very much, Jim.